shit. Hey, how's everybody doing? I'd like to say hello and welcome to Talk Shit. We are live on video. You can go to our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/TalkShitTV show. And I'm going to go ahead and put the link up there right now. Got a pretty decent show for you tonight. I'd like you to stay tuned with us and see what we got in store. Remember I was telling everybody about the interview that I had on Real News Real Fast's show called Our Show. And don't mind me looking away. I am putting up that post. And if you click on the Ustream link that's on Talk Shit Facebook page, you'll be able to watch us live. Now, like I was saying, we have the video of the interview that Tom premiered yesterday on his website called Real News Real Fast. Also has a Facebook page, Real News Real Fast. So you can go check them out both. It's where we get all of our news from, which we're going to start right now with the weather. We're at about 58 degrees here in Kennedy Studios with 98% humidity. And boy, I'll tell you, for those of you who live here, you know it's been raining hard. And it looks like, and wow, hold on one second here. My goodness, 3.31 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. So it's quite wet outside. It's quite humid. For those of you who have pets that live outside, try and give them some shelter because it's some cold, wet rain. And that message is brought to you from a friend of mine who lives in New York, who is a very much a pet advocate. She cares about her dogs. And if you're listening, you know who you are. All right, so let's move on to some of the headlines we got because I want to get to that clip today. I think you'll like it. And we are also on the Spreaker, broadcasting audio live. So first one in the news, we've got some more good news out of Hernando County. It looks like the Sunoco station in South Broad Street, there was an officer whose name is Deputy Vincent Mistelli. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Who stopped there to get a cup of coffee, and apparently he noticed some woman, waving her arms like this, and parked up behind her, and apparently she was choking, and he gave her the Heimlich maneuver, and he saved her life. So hats off to you. I won't take it off because my hair's a mess, and that's why I wear the hat. But hats off to you, Deputy. I'd like to say it's good to hear a couple days in a row now we've got some good news coming out of Hernando County about our Sheriff's Department. Let's hope it stays that way. All right, moving on. We got 2 charged with organized fraud. Looks like 2 employees of Allen's Roofing are charged with organized fraud. Looks like they've been defrauding the business over the course of about 6 months from April 2013 to October. Wow. I don't really like to mention names. Who cares about who the hell they were? If you want to read it, you can go to realnewsrealfast.com and check it out there. But yeah, it looks like total was $42.27. In addition, also used the company's Home Depot credit card for unauthorized purchases. No kidding. There's a real pair of winners for you. Gives somebody a job and they take advantage of your trust. That's usually the way it happens. And for those of you who know my business history, you know what happened. Anyway, moving on, we have some unfortunate news out of Hudson. A Hudson man dies in Citrus County on a motorcycle. All right. I used to ride a lot. Was a major form of transportation. It was the form of transportation. And just be careful out there. Most motorcycle deaths happen not because of the motorcycle driver. They happen because of everyone else on the road. So please, those of you that are out there driving, especially here in Spring Hill. Just watch out for them bikers. Sometimes I know you can't see them, but I know you cannot miss the sound because most of them are quite loud. And then I got a few out of Hernando stories here. We got justice for Mark Dugan as a jury found his killer lawful. Looks like in London we have this gentleman, Mark Dugan, who a cop killed him. He had a weapon. He put the weapon down. Several witnesses seen him put the weapon down, and they shot him dead. So that's some unfortunate news that we don't like to hear. Again, it was not local news, but I thought people would be interested in knowing. Philippine lawmakers reject the bill to retrieve the death penalty. Well, it's Philippines. And then we got 3 killed in a helicopter hits a power line crash in Colorado. So it looks like a helicopter carrying out inspectors on power lines in the northwestern Colorado snagged the line and crashed on late Monday morning, killing the 3 people on board the aircraft, sheriff's officials said. Wow, the cause was not immediately known. Well, that's some more bad news out of Colorado, to go along with a lot of good things that are happening in Colorado. Their whole medical cannabis program, can't say enough about it. One thing I can say is that Florida should follow in their example. The revenue alone, never mind eliminating, how can I put it? Never mind eliminating the problem with the pills that we have, okay? And I know here in Hernando County that pills are a major problem because I've talked to a few of the sheriffs. I've seen some of the things that go on here in Hernando County as far as the arrests. You read it all the time. I used to run with a news organization that's been taken over by another news organization whose name I will not mention. But yeah, I've seen quite a bit of things happen. I have someone who is close to me who takes care of unfortunate children who get taken away from their parents because they are on pills or meth. One thing I got to say is never once, ever once, has she ever had a marijuana baby. I'm sorry, they don't exist, and if they do, they're probably smarter than most of us. And the reason for bringing this statement up is because I want to reiterate the fact that marijuana is not a danger to our children. It is not whatsoever. So, let's move on and see what else we got here. One thing that I did see a lot of going on in the news was about the legalization of cannabis for medical purposes here in Florida. There's constantly things going on, and it just boils back down to it's what the people want, it's what the people need. We'll go back to these pills. Get these pills off the streets because, let's be honest, I have friends of mine who are getting ready to go through chemo, and who he's actually a state trooper. Well, he used to be a state trooper. And chemo is not the answer, man. Radiation and chemo is not the answer. I watched it destroy someone who's close to me, my mother. I watched it destroy her, and it is not the answer. I just want to say that. It is just, it's poison. It's poison. You're putting poison into your body. There are more natural remedies out there. I have some friends of mine who I'm going to start getting some information from about what would be the difference. We're going to show you what pills do to you, side effects, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to show to you the advantages and disadvantages of cannabis. And I mark my words, when it comes to disadvantages to cannabis, there'll be maybe that much compared to the list that we can go on with the pills. Now, one thing I want to do, and we're gonna go ahead and get over to this video. I want to show you guys the interview that we had at Real News Real Fast. So I'm going to go ahead and get that playing here. You'll have to excuse me. I gotta do this all myself here. So let's go ahead and get that playing, and I'll go ahead and I'll fade out, and we'll see what you guys think. Might be a little loud. Hold on. Get that out of here. That's all.
Hi, and welcome back. We're here with Dave Bickford and Lou Kennedy, and we're going to be talking about a subject that I think is on everyone's mind today. That's the use of marijuana and the legalization. So first, let's get right into it and talk to Lou a little bit. Lou, you had an experience recently that probably wasn't too pleasant with you, was it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We were sitting at home, and we had a very unfriendly knock at the front door. Mm-hmm. And my house was, I guess you could say, raided. And I guess they're trying to charge me with cultivation of cannabis, which when they did raid my house, there was no cultivation going on other than my tomatoes, my pineapples.
And that's what we understand is that they really only found a small amount of marijuana. Actually, there were two other raids that day.
Rather large ones.
Rather large ones. Yours seemed to be, kind of small in comparison.
17.8 grams.
Or you actually have been charged with cultivation.
Now, these other houses here that you see, those are the two other busts that happened that day. None whatsoever.
Okay. No. So they didn't find but a small amount of marijuana.
That's correct.
No plants, although you have the equipment to grow marijuana if you wanted to, the hydroponic equipment, correct?
Which is not illegal to possess. It's sold in any grow supply store. The nature of what we use it for is to grow our own vegetables. I mean, fruits, vegetables, things of that nature, house plants, you name it, anything that I can try and grow in them units.
So, Lou, you don't really have anything against pot, obviously. I mean, you do smoke it. I guess you can't answer that, but we'll just say that there's a preponderance of evidence that maybe you do smoke pot. Okay, let's just get your opinion about it. I mean, it's been around for years, for centuries, correct?
It's been around since, from what I understand, 2900 BC for medical reasons, and it's only the 1990s when we realized that the brain can actually process it for medical reasons. Most of my life, yes, I've been pro-marijuana, and not because I was just some pothead on the streets, but I knew plenty of people up where I grew up from that even early on, before the facts were out, you knew it was helping them. Glaucoma has been a common use for medical marijuana for as long as I can remember, back in the 70s. So yeah, when it comes to medical marijuana and activists and fighting for our rights, and that's basically what this is, it's our right. Yeah, I'm all for it, and I'll do whatever it takes. So
well, let's touch on the criminal aspect of it again, though. I mean, a lot of people are still, they're angry that so many people go to jail left and right for having a little bit to whatever amount, but they ended up spending maybe months or years in jail, or losing jobs, or losing everything because of a little bit of marijuana. And people are saying the jails are overcrowded. We're wasting too much taxpayer money on it, is what the complaint is. Do you believe that this needs to be completely legal? I mean, is there you'll have people who oppose it who say it's just it causes brain damage. I mean,
there's no evidence. There's no evidence. I mean, I read an article today that marijuana-related deaths There's a few out there, but the only reason is because they died from other causes and had marijuana in their system. That's it. I've never heard of anybody going out, smoking a joint, and then robbing 7-Eleven because they were fiending for another joint. Never heard of it. Never heard of anybody smoking a joint, getting behind a wheel, or killing anybody. When it comes to decriminalizing it, we waste way too many tax dollars on the pursuit of justice, I guess you can call it, when it's really not justice because, like you had mentioned, the court costs, the fines, probations, the problems it causes with your employment socially. I mean, I'm living it. I'm living it right now.
So what about the people who say that this is we're paying for the drug cartels? How do we regulate that? How do we stop murderers lining the pockets of murderers in other countries? Is this a valid complaint of the people who oppose legalizing it?
I'm not too sure about that. I really can't touch much on that. My opinion of cartels is completely different. Yeah, there needs to be some kind of control when it comes to that, and I'd have to say we could probably save that for a whole nother show. So that's just a big subject when it comes to fighting the cartels.
Right.
Regulation, yes, I do believe it should be regulated. You shouldn't be able to just walk over to the cigarette vending machine and drop $1.50 in and get a pack of marijuana. No, I don't want to see that. I would love for it to be used for recreation, but unfortunately we do live in a society where it will be abused.
Well, we're going to take a break just for a second, and when we come back we're going to talk about more specific factors that have the benefits of medical marijuana. We'll be right back.
For those of you who are on the
Welcome
audio
back.
stream,
We're
that
talking
was
about
just a commercial.
medical marijuana and the legalization. Right now we're going to talk to Dave again. Dave, when we left off, we were talking about the criminal aspect of marijuana, and then we started to touch on some of the medical benefits. Right now I want to ask you, what are some specific benefits to marijuana that you would say that give us a good reason to legalize it?
Well, as I said, the properties of cannabis, they've shown to have anti-cancerous, anti-inflammatory, anti-infection, neuroprotectants. So almost any disease, if they discovered this marijuana yesterday, it'd be a miracle drug. It's almost a cure-all.
So you're saying it actually not only helps to benefit people who are experiencing cancer or some other terrible disease from pain or nausea. This is actually something that could cure something, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Well, that's the whole deal behind it.
Cancer already.
Yes.
So
they make it into an oil and put it on your skin.
So it's a suppressant. It actually suppresses the development of cancer.
And, on the medical use of it, as I explained earlier, the higher the CBD in it.
Now, explain the CBD, because you were talking to me about this off camera. What is CBD?
I can't give you the scientific name of it.
But you know what the effect of it is and what it does, right?
Yes.
Okay.
While they're breeding it now to give to the children, there's actually 19 children in Arizona that are on medical marijuana now. And CBD is another chemical, just like THC, that is in marijuana. And the percentage rate of THC in marijuana is like, the government wants to keep it at, certain states want to keep it at like 12%. And the highest known content of it has been 25, 27% THC. The CBDs, on the other hand, have been 1, 2, 3%. And they are trying to breed or the different strains together, and they've come out with a cannabis that is half and half. Half percentage of 10% THC, 10% CBD.
But there's a certain effect of the CBD, which actually we were saying before reduces the effect of the THC.
It offsets the THC buzz.
Okay.
So if you don't want to get high, you can seek out a strain that is high in CBDs, and you will not get the THC buzz from the marijuana.
But a lot of people are going to say, well, okay, marijuana causes anxiety, paranoia. There's some bad side effects. So not only that, I mean, it's like cigarette smoking, it causes your lungs
the
to.
paranoia thing is all about it being illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
Well, really.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
That's the reason most people get paranoid, and they have to, when they get approached by other people, might feel a little bit
That's
paranoid.
where the anxiety comes in because you're so afraid.
You know it's
you're
illegal.
paranoid.
Right.
Exactly.
Now there's going to be the big argument, I believe, from people who are experts in drug addiction and criminology and psychology and things, or that the drugs, the marijuana is that gateway drug, that drug that brings you from, you tried it, and maybe you tried it at 16 or 17, 18 years old, and by the time you're 21, you're doing crack or cocaine or heroin or acid or some other types of drugs, and God forbid people get into the methamphetamine, which is the worst thing out right now, I think, for our youth. What do you say about this being a gateway drug?
For me, it started with cigarettes. I remember watching my friend's father flick a cigarette across the yard, and I was like, wow, and I went over there and laid me out, too. Alcohol, I mean, it could
Do you
be
think
all
it's a
the same.
factor in maybe even starting to drink?
Well, in my wild life that I had as a youngster, yes, I experimented with just about everything. Whatever my buddies had, and said, here, try this is great, And after doing it, sometimes I liked it and sometimes I didn't. And just like with crack cocaine, I would do it because I would fiend for it. But then as soon as I got finished doing it, it's like, man, why did I just do that?
But you don't blame marijuana for bringing you to that point?
No,
not at all.
No, not at all.
Okay, and you?
I grew up in a town to where drugs were very, very common. I grew up in a town on Long Island to where if you weren't doing drugs, you weren't cool. And I can honestly say I've tried a lot of drugs, and I can honestly say that I've never stuck with any of it because I've watched too many friends die, overdose from cocaine, heroin, smoking crack, watch them destroy their lives. Now, this new meth, which, I mean, if people knew what they put into that, why would you smoke that, I mean, it's just, so as far as a gateway drug, there again, I'd have to fall back. It goes on the individual's personality. I mean, if you have an addictive personality, then of course you're going to get addicted to something, and then something's not going to be enough, then you move on to the next thing.
Right.
But it's not because of the marijuana. It could be you could start out 1 or 2 beers, then 5 years later you're an alcoholic.
What do you say to people who believe that it reduces the quality of work, work production? It creates a laziness.
I think that's a frame of mind. I honestly, I do believe that would just fall back on human nature.
And the people I know, everybody works. I mean, you have to work. I've been doing it for quite a long time myself, and I work very hard, do a lot of side work, work long hours if I have to, whatever it takes to get the job done.
Right. So you would disagree with that? There's no effect on that.
No, and it actually, being under the influence of it has made me think about what needs to be done, what I have to do, and it gives me the go to get it done.
How many states are there that are approved?
21.
21.
States.
And including the District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
And 9 right now have it in legislation.
Now, Florida just passed, or at least the Supreme Court is allowing it to move forward.
We're on the ballot.
Legislation.
November,
Correct.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, Dave, tell us a little bit about what you and your wife have been doing in the community to bring awareness, and actually I think she was working on a petition to get this passed through legislation. Tell us what you and your wife have been doing.
Well, she's been sitting up, and she was doing her petitions, and got a whole bunch of thumbs up, a lot of horns honking, and
Your wife even told me that there was a law enforcement officer, I believe, from Tampa,
oh yeah,
who agreed and even signed the petition, I think.
they all know.
Right.
They know the effects of marijuana. They know that they haven't made an arrest, no assaults from using marijuana.
Okay. Well, Dave.
Under the influence of marijuana.
Right. Dave, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming out here.
Right.
Lou, you too. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. That's our show. We'll see you next week.
Well, I hope you liked it. That was, again, the Real News Real Fast piece that they had done on on medical marijuana, and I was a guest speaker on there. Just trying to, help out and enlighten everybody about the benefits of medical marijuana, and just keeping everybody informed of the good things about it. I'm gonna go ahead and we got about 4 minutes left, so I want to thank again Tom Lemons from Real News Real Fast for providing the footage to us so we can air it and bring it to our viewers. I'd like to thank my viewers for tuning in, watching. I appreciate everything that you guys might be able to comment on and bring to the show. We're looking for your ideas, things that you want to hear about. Then we'll be more than happy to air them. All I need is your suggestions. And my followers, keep them coming, keep sharing it. I know there's a few of you out there that have been trying to get a hold of me. I've been, real busy changing things around. As you can see, the studio's a little different again. We've got a bunch of things going on. I've got a whole nother position over on the other side there that we're getting ready to fill, and we'll have that right there. We'll have another speaker sitting right there, what you're looking at right there, and we'll be able to talk shit together. I'd like to invite Mr. Tom Lemons to come on the show with me, and let's sit down and go over how you handle your day, and how you come up with your news and your sources and things of that nature. Maybe give your viewers, your fans, a little idea of how tough it is to do what you do. We're going to go ahead and say thanks again to the viewers, because without the viewers and the listeners, I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I'm doing. Kennedy Studios, we bring this to you right now for absolutely nothing. It's just an information show. Any help is appreciated. You can go on our Talk Shit page on Facebook, and you can donate to us, but you get a T-shirt with every donation that you get. It's a nice T-shirt too. I wish I had an image of it to show you. It's a red T-shirt. They're also available in black with our logo on it. The giant wow, I'm tongue-tied tonight. The giant donkey with Talk Shit around it. So again, I'd like to thank everybody. That's 3 times, man. I'm really appreciative. I got to tell you. You guys have a good night. That's Talk Shit TV, Talk Shit Radio. Hope to see you all again soon. All right.